Police officers apprehended over 30 million naira extortion in Abuja. Governors counter Senate President on 30 billion naira palliative allocation. EFCC arraigns former Kwara Governor Abdul Fattah. Journalists barred from courtroom. Another foreign thing, Guinea's junta lifts internet restrictions. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's News Update. I am Chiamaka Wafo. Thanks for staying with us. Some operatives attached to the Special Tactical Squad of the Nigerian Police Force in Abuja have been arrested for extorting 30 million naira from a citizen. The Force Public Relations Officer ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi disclosed this in a statement on Friday. According to the FPRO, the extortion was brought to the notice of the force via the X platform, and the NPF has arrested the officers and their accomplices who initially escaped upon commencement of investigations. Earlier this month, police confirmed the arrest of officers who abducted a businessman in Abuja and extorted 29.9 million naira from him. The businessman was reportedly abducted at one of his sites in Abuja by armed police officers who detained him until he transferred all the money in his bank account to them. In response to Senate President's claim, governors on Thursday have denied that they have received 1.08 trillion naira from the federal government to address food crisis in the country. Speaking during the inauguration of the renovated Central Mosque in the Ishayin area of Oyo State on Thursday, the state governor, Seyi Makinde, said, as a vice chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, he could attest to the fact that state governors did not receive 30 billion naira each, as claimed by the Senate President. Also, officials of Lagos, Zamfara, Benue, Osun, Katsina, and Enugu states said on Thursday that their state governments did not receive 30 billion naira. State governments had in September of 2023 received 2 billion naira each out of the 5 billion naira loan offered to them by the federal government as a palliative to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy. The Senate President, Akpabio, had said an unconfirmed report indicated that state governors received 30 billion naira each from the Federation account to ameliorate inflation and the high cost of food in their respective states.
This is not the time to play politics. We have real issues that need real solutions. Yesterday, I saw the video and I read in the news where the Senate President made a statement. So he said on verified reports show that state governors have received additional 30 billion naira from Federal Inland Revenue Service outside our statutory allocations in the last few months from the federal government to address food security. Please listen to me loud and clear. I can speak for your state, and I can also speak for any of my colleagues, because as the vice chairman of Nigerian Governors Forum, I know when things are happening. If you want to play politics, we'll keep quiet and say let it slide. But I'm not going to let this slide.
Over in Kwara State, the former Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed has been granted bail by Justice Evelyn Ayadike of the Federal High Court in Ilorin. The bail, set at 50 million naira, requires two sureties with landed property in Ilorin. Additionally, the former governor must deposit his traveling documents with the court. Ahmed faces charges by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for alleged misappropriation of state funds. The report.
Former Governor Abdul Lateef Ahmed, who had been in custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission since Monday, was brought to court today. Initially, journalists were bailed from moving the proceedings, but after significant pressure, only two were allowed into the courtroom. Ahmed faced a 12-count charge by the EFCC for alleged misappropriations of state funds amounting to 10 billion naira. He pleaded not guilty to all charges, and his oral bail applications were granted by Justice Evelyn Ayedike.
Defendants, and he pleaded not guilty, and thereafter application for bail was made by his counsel orally. So although we oppose that it should be in writing, his lordship was of the opinion that she has the discretion to allow them to move oral application, and it was so moved, and the court, after argument, the court granted bail on certain conditions.
Rotimi Jacob, counsel to EFCC. He was granted bail on certain conditions.
Conditions, and thereafter adjourned the matter till April because of some intervening holidays, during which period the court will not sit. So that was what happened. April 29th, sorry, 2 dates. The court also made another granting a accelerated hearing of the case. The conditions are that he will provide two sorties who must show evidence of, one of whom must show evidence of land ownership in a lorry. They must bring their affidavit of means to show that they are people of means, and that of course their photographs also have to be in court.
The second defendant, former Commissioner for Finance, Demola Banu, was absent from court and had no legal representation. Governor Ahmed served as the governor of Kwara State from 2011 to 2019.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, has appealed to the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, for its intervention with the blackout in military barracks and cantonments are facing due to 42 billion naira owed to the electricity distribution companies. The Army Chief, during a visit to the Minister, described blackouts in Army barracks and cantonment as security threats. A statement by the Special Advisor, Strategic Communication and Media Relations to the Minister, Bolaji Tunji, stated that Adelabu assured the Nigerian Army of his readiness to dialogue with DISCOs to relieve the Nigerian Army of its electricity debt burden amounting to 42 billion naira. Adelabu reiterated the importance of liquidity and funding in the sector, adding the debts could not be written off, but he could intervene in order to restructure the debt payment if there was assurance of regular payments by the Nigerian Army. Abuja Electricity Distribution Company had given 83 MDAs in its franchise area a 10-day notice to pay the 47.1 billion naira debt they owed the company or risk disconnection. The Nigerian Senate has confirmed 12 members for the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria with a directive to immediately formulate policies to revive Nigeria's dwindling economy. Trust TV's Senate correspondent Sagre Ibrahim reports.
The confirmation follows the presentation of the report of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions headed by Senator Adetokunbo Abiru. The Monetary Policy Committee is made up of the CBN Governor Olayemika Doso as chairman and 11 others as members. Senator Abiru expressed confidence in the nominees, adding that they are not only experienced in their field but also possess the required qualifications to thrive in the MPC.
That their appointments are in accordance with the provisions of the Act, that the nominees possess the requisite qualification, that we did not receive any petition against any of the nominees, and that the nominees have been cleared by the Nigerian Police Force, Department of State Security, and they have their Code of Conduct acknowledgement slips. Recommendations. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, after robust engagement with the nominees and being satisfied with their experiences, performances and academic qualifications, do hereby recommend as follows: that the Senate do confirm the nomination of all the underlisted members as members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Speaking after the confirmation of the CBN Governor and other members of the MPC, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio commended President Bola Tinubu for selecting individuals with great expertise that will help the country out of its current predicament.
I wish them well and pray that they will use their expertise to redirect the monetary policies, including even contributions to the fiscal policies to ensure that Nigeria gets out of the current economic quagmire.
This confirmation of new MPC members follows the first policy meeting of the Apex Bank under the new CBN governor, scheduled for the 26th and 27th of February 2024. From the National Assembly in Abuja, Sagir Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV News.
Over in Taraba State, the House of Assembly has conducted a public hearing on a bill to reshape the traditional rulership of Takum local government. The bill, among other things, seeks to bring an end to the lingering chieftaincy crisis that started more than 20 years ago. The report.
The bill also seeks to reshape Takum chiefdom by changing the title of the paramount ruler from Ukwe of Takum in Takum dialect to Kuru of Takum in Jukun dialect, and also to introduce a rational system of leadership between Kuteb, Jukun, and Chamba. The chairman of the House Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Abel Peter Dia, read the bill to those in attendance.
Takum was the paradise of Taraba State. But now, Takum is a shadow of itself. Nobody wants to go to Takum. You know, I remember in between 2007-8, I can drive alone from Takum to Lede to my friend's house. Same. And in the night. This cannot happen now.
A director from State Ministry of Justice stressed that the effort of the governor is to maintain peace among the three major tribes in Takum and applauded the House for organizing public hearing.
Is captured under Section 9 of the bill. Therefore, everyone is aware of the object of this bill. The bill has 15 clauses and seeks to provide for the procedure of selection of Kuru Takum. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, as amended, confer powers on the State House of Assembly to facilitate public participation and legislative duties.
Some residents of Kuteb, displaying placards with different inscriptions, expressed their disapproval of the bill, whose amendments, they say, will not only delete their cultural heritage, but also make them a minority.
And a lot has happened in Takum for the past 28 years. That is almost 3 decades. We have not seen and registered what is peace in Takum. So we as women, we are calling on the government that let there be peace. Our husbands are the one taking care of us. We don't want anything to happen to them. Enough is enough.
That's the trust territory. 3 local governments in Taraba State, 8 in Adamawa, 5 in Borno. All these people are on the way going. Because since 2010, the United Nations has asked Nigeria to remove the hand. And now they are participating in making this law.
The Kute people have nurtured the stool from 3rd class up to 2nd class and now 1st class. And all of a sudden you come this afternoon and say you want to make some people to come and rotate. Is it a punishment to the Kute people or what is the issue? What have they done?
The Kuteb protesters called on the state government to jettison his decision of changing the title, which they say was inherited over 500 years.
In the southeast, 2 local vigilantes have been reportedly killed by armed men in Iboku community in Izi local government area of Ebonyi State. An eyewitness said the gunmen, disguised as natives of the area, stopped at strategic locations in the community and bought food items before unleashing mayhem. According to the report, the government stopped at a popular filling station first at Iboko to get fuel before they moved to where local security operatives were and opened fire on them. Confirming the ugly incident, the acting public relations officer of the Ebonyi State Police Command, Joshua Okandis, stated that 2 lives were lost, noting that the yet-to-be-identified gunmen opened fire on the 2 security guards during the Iboko market day. He added that the bodies of the deceased have been deposited at the mortuary while investigations is ongoing to unravel the root cause of the killing and possibly apprehend the perpetrators. Operatives of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps Abia State Command have arrested 10 suspects for alleged illegal mining. While parading the suspects in Umuahia on Thursday, the State Commandant Usman said the arrests were made on Friday, February 16, 2024. He added that the arrests were made in strict compliance to the directives of the Commandant General Ahmed Abubakar to end the activities of illegal miners in all mining sites across the country. According to Usman, the activities of the illegal miners constitute economic sabotage to the nation and must not be allowed to continue. He added that beyond the negative consequences of their activities on the nation's economy, the adverse effects on the environment and residents raise greater concerns. This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead, youths urged to embrace entrepreneurship. More when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. A recap of our top stories. Police officers apprehended over 30 million naira extortion in Abuja. And governors counter Senate President on 30 billion naira palliative allocation. Tomorrow news. Daily Trust Foundation, the corporate social responsibility arm of the Media Trust Group, publishers of daily trust titles, Armenia, Trust TV, Trust Radio, among others, has trained 22 journalists selected from 7 states of the Northwest region on advanced data journalism. Data journalism, which enhances reporting and news writing with the use and examination of statistics in order to provide a deeper insight into a news story, has become an integral aspect of journalism following the rise of fake news, hence the training. Here's the report.
Speaking at the opening event, the chairman, Daily Trust Foundation, Madam Bilia Bala, highlighted that the foundation is very passionate about training and building the capacity of journalists, hence the need for the training.
So that's what we want journalists, whether you are in print, in radio, in television, whatever, even on the internet, blogging, you need to know how to get data, analyze it, and write a story on it. And that's what we are doing here in Kano. We have collected journalists from northwestern Nigeria, 7 states of the Northwest. They are all here, and we are trying to update their knowledge. Some of them may already have that knowledge, but knowledge is not static, like I keep saying. Anything static is in danger of decay. So we keep updating them so that they can do their job well.
He therefore took participants through an illustrative manner on how data mining is practiced in the local pattern by forefathers since years immemorial, among other examples. On his part, the Commissioner of Information and Internal Affairs in Kano, Baba Halilu Dantiye, urged the participating journalists to apply data journalism in their reporting for accuracy, noting that an accurate report generated from data will help the government to appreciate its strength and identify its weaknesses in addressing public demands.
And I hope they will use it well. They'll put the knowledge they have acquired into practice, using data, in the practice of journalism and in all issues is very, very important. And now, journalists have this difficulty in analyzing data, in gathering data, but the trainer has been able to give them the opportunity, the knowledge on how to source it, how to mine it, and how to break it into stories. I think this is very important.
He therefore emphasized that as members of the fourth estate of democratic governance, journalists have a duty to work hard to provide reliable and accurate reports devoid of subjectivity for the benefit of the society. Salim Umar Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV.
With the decline in white-collar jobs in Nigeria, calls have been intensified for young graduates to toe the path of entrepreneurship in order to be gainfully employed. Now, these calls are further strengthened by the federal government's repeated claim that it has limited employment slots against the hundreds of thousands of graduates churned out by Nigerian universities on an annual basis. Nuruddin Umar, a degree holder, is however an exception as he is into laundry services after graduation and earning a living from it. Hassan Koli tells us more.
With a Bachelor of Science degree in botany, 30-year-old Nuruddin Umar is into laundry services in Gombe. Despite people taunting him, Nuruddin says he is now helping government generate employment as he is self-employed and employing others too.
I started this business, so with this business I almost sponsored my degree education, and also working with others with some apprentices. So I think working with them is like I do create another job opportunity.
Nuruddin believed that starting a business is the only way for graduates to prove that they attended higher institution instead of waiting for government to employ them.
I'm calling on graduates like me not to rely on government to give them job. They should go and at least find something or small business which the capital will not be hard for them. So in order to sustain their living.
Economic experts suggest that starting a small-scale businesses will boost the Nigerian economy by creating more job opportunities among the teeming graduates. Hassan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
To health matters, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention has reported a total of 2,122 suspected cases of Lassa fever outbreaks in 21 states in Nigeria. In the Lassa fever situation report for week 6, posted on its website on Thursday, the disease center said 411 cases have been confirmed and 72 deaths have been recorded from the outbreaks as of February 11, 2024. The confirmed cases were recorded from 21 states and 78 local government areas in the country. Lassa fever is an acute viral hemorrhagic fever caused by the Lassa virus. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his commitment as the chairman of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government to advancing judicial reforms in order to strengthen democracy across West Africa. The president stated this at a meeting with a delegation from the ECOWAS Judicial Council led by the Chief Justice of Nigeria and Chairman of the Council, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, at the State House in Abuja on Thursday. According to a statement from the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajurin Gelali, President Tinubu congratulated judges from member states who participated in the two-day council meeting in Abuja and assured them that their recommendations would receive utmost consideration by the heads of state and government of ECOWAS. Speaking on behalf of the ECOWAS Judicial Council, Justice Ariwola emphasized the Council's commitment to facilitating the effective functioning of the ECOWAS judicial system. He said the Council at the end of its meeting in Abuja agreed to establish 2 subcommittees to address pertinent judiciary-related issues in the region.
The issue on the enforcement of the judgments of the community court is going to be looked into. We've set up 2 committees, one to look into the rules and the other to look into the position or the status of the enforcement of judgments of the community court. And as I told Mr. President, by the time the council concludes its meeting, the recommendations will show that we have worked so hard.
From Nigeria, in Guinea, the military authorities have lifted restrictions on internet access, which were imposed 3 months ago and sparked protests. Residents observed overnight on Thursday. The move came a day after trades unions in the West African country announced an unlimited general strike from Monday to pressure the ruling junta to release a prominent media activist, cut food prices, and restore internet access. The military, which seized power in a coup in 2021, had said the internet restrictions were needed because of a security problem. On Monday, they dissolved the transitional government, which had been in office since July of 2022. The junta did not give a reason for scrapping the government, a move that has exacerbated tensions in the country. Under international pressure, it promised to hand back power to elected civilians by the end of 2024, but the opposition has accused it of authoritarian drift. Journalists have been at the forefront of protest against media censorship. In addition to curbing access to the internet, the authorities have blocked major television channels and jammed radio frequencies. Unions are demanding his immediate and unconditional release. A court was due to rule on Friday whether he should be jailed for 6 months, as prosecutors have requested. The highly anticipated international friendly between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and world champions Argentina will be played at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in America on Tuesday, March 26th. The friendly was previously moved from Japan to China. This agreement between the Argentina captain Lionel Messi and Chinese authorities forced the organizers to look for a new venue. La Albiceleste are also expected to take on El Salvador in another friendly in March. The encounter will be the Super Eagles' first outing since their 2023 Africa Cup of Nations final fixture against the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. The Super Eagles will use the game to prepare for their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers coming up in June against South Africa and Benin Republic. And with that, we've come to the end of the news at this hour. For more news, programs and documentaries, please do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thanks for watching.